Blockify tool and block editor in BricsCAD make it easier than ever to create and edit block definitions. Blockify automatically converts repetitive sets of entities to block definitions. This electrical plan includes many receptacle, switch, and light symbols, but they're not blocks. Either the blocks were previously exploded, or someone simply created the entities and copied them many times. Regardless, it increases the size of the drawing, prevents accurate data extraction, and can lead to inadvertent editing of individual entities. It's sloppy drawing practice and should be cleaned up. With Blockify, you simply select the set of entities you want to turn into a block and the set of entities or the entire drawing for BricsCAD to search for matching sets. BricsCAD automatically creates a block definition and replaces all matching sets of entities with block references. Within a fraction of a second, BricsCAD turns all 96 sets of these entities into blocks. The Blockify tool is as powerful as it is simple, like an incredible magic trick that you know can't possibly be true. But Blockify is real and possibly the best CAD productivity tool in decades. After repeating Blockify for both the switch and light symbols, we've converted more than 700 circles, lines, and polylines into 3 block definitions with more than 200 insertions, all in a matter of seconds. Imagine how long that would take you without the magic of Blockify. With all those entities converted to blocks, you can then select and modify them just like any other block insert. For example, use the Select Similar tool to quickly select each type of block and then change them to the appropriate layer. And, of course, you can rename the block definitions to something more appropriate. If you're still not a believer in the magic of Blockify, here's a more complicated example. These are just a bunch of lines and arcs which have been copied and rotated 5 times each. Almost 3,000 of these individual entities are piled on top of each other. Blockify is intelligent enough to detect matching entities even when they overlap with geometry. Behold the magic! Using Blockify for each set of motorcycle geometry accurately converts the pile of motorcycles into 10 block references. The powerful Blockify tool isn't limited to 2D geometry. It works just as well with 3D models, even in cases you may not expect. This model of a duplex home is quite large, but even with materials applied, the performance in BricsCAD is great. As I zoom and pan quickly, there's no visual degradation. Because performance is good and my time is valuable, I didn't bother creating block definitions for most of the repetitive geometry, not even for these deck spindles, of which there are many. But still, using block definitions for multiple instances is good practice. And since this is a duplex, which I modeled by creating one unit and then mirroring it, there are at least 2 instances of nearly every entity. Using Blockify and taking all the default options, BricsCAD automatically changes those spindles from more than 300 inefficient solid entities to a single block definition with more than 300 references. It creates block references for all identical solids that occur more than once in the drawing, significantly reducing the file size. If you want to edit these solids again in the future, you can always explode the block or use the block editor. The block editor in BricsCAD displays a temporary drawing session to edit your block definitions. It includes all the tools you need to create and modify 2D or 3D entities. The Block Edit toolbar is automatically displayed while you're in block editing mode. When you're ready to exit the editing session, you can choose whether to save or discard the changes. You instantly return to the previous drawing session.